Good evening and welcome to this episode of Tony's Tech Talk, episode 26, recorded on July 17th, 2014. I'm Tony Hannity's, and before we get started, let's go ahead and mention to you guys that this show is brought to you by Audible.com. You can get your free audiobook trial at audibletrial.com/lazy. Also, if you want to get in contact with us, you can call us at 707-722-5299 or 707-722-LAZY, or better yet, email us at comments@lazytechguys.com. Just don't email a whole essay because we're probably not going to read it. Of course, all the other major social networks we are on, and also the not-so-major social networks, including app.net. So I hope everybody is doing well today, but I do feel like I have to unfortunately start on a somber note to those affected and afflicted by the crash of the Malaysian airline on the border of Ukraine and Russia. Our heart, our thoughts, and prayers go out to anybody that is dealing with that on firsthand or degrees of separation. It's a terrible tragedy that happened. And we do wish you all the best, and just want to take a moment of silence for all those who did perish. Okay. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start with the tech news of the day. Now, I know what you're thinking. I know you're going to think, well, we're going to talk about what Nadella talked about today, and we are not. We're not going to start with that. We're going to start with something probably a little bit more, hey, this is kind of cool. The Simpsons, one of my favorite TV shows ever since I was a youngin'. They are now actually going to be doing a live show, one place only, but I think it's 3 days, and it's going to be in the Hollywood Bowl in Hollywood, California, United States of America. Now, they will have a live orchestra, which is really cool, and then you'll be able to see in person the voice actors, including Hank Azaria, Nancy Cartwright, and Yeardley Smith. Now, Nancy Cartwright and Yeardley, you probably know. Nancy is Bart. Yeardley is Lisa. Excuse me. And but Hank, you may or may not recognize him by name, but you definitely recognize his character. He voices Chief Wiggum. I also think Ralph Wiggum. Maybe not. Definitely Chief Wiggum. Apu. I'm not going to pronounce his last name. Mo Sizlak, and many others. He's an amazing voice actor. And so anyways, these guys are going to be on stage, and they're calling it The Simpsons Take the Bowl. So if you are actually looking at the screen here, you can right now get tickets for this thing, and it is going to be on September Friday the 12th, September Saturday the 13th, and September Sunday the 14th, all in the evening. And I gotta say, I'm very, very jealous of those of you that are able to go down there. And I don't necessarily know what they're going to do. So Hank is the host, Thomas Wilkins is the conductor, and even Weird Al Yankovic is going to be there as well too, and John Lovitz. I'm really, really jealous. I wish I could make it down there, but we're already making a family trip somewhere else. So in any event, just want to try to start off the show with a cool little piece of news for all of you Simpsons fans out there. But let's go ahead and start talking about tech. So the LG G3 was launched probably kind of late last week and officially fully launched earlier this week. I know the carrier of my choice, T-Mobile, just got it maybe a day or so ago. But that's not all. They also announced the LG G3 Beat. And for those who think that it has to do with Beats by Dre, it has absolutely nothing to do with Beats by Dre. So essentially the LG G3 Beat, or I guess Beat by LG, depending on however you want to sling it, is the more simpler or mid-range version. So on the right is the LG G3. on the left is the G3 Beat. And essentially, they look very much the same. And a lot of these manufacturers are doing this kind of thing where they have the flagship device and then they have a mid-level device that may look like the flagship device, but in the mid-level device, it's smaller, it's not as powerful, and you do lose some of the major features that make the high-end device very sought after. However, this is not too bad. Now, this is not coming to the United States anytime soon. So if you were like, oh, I want the G3, but I don't want a huge 5-inch screen, you still probably can't get this in the United States for quite some time. So just to kind of compare and contrast, this screen, if I'm not mistaken, is it is 5 inches, whereas the G3 is 5.5 inches. The G3 also has a quad display. This is 720p, so it's less than 1080p, and the quality of it on a 5-inch display, you might want to see at least 1080p, but this is only 720p. Internal memory capacities are 8 and 16 gigabytes, and it has a microSD expansion. It does have a camera, 8 megapixels on the rear, and 1.3 on the front. So the quality of the megapixel, again, not as strong. However, it does have the laser autofocus. So if you remember, the G3 has this laser that when you take a photo, it can quickly autofocus for you, so you can snap your photos a lot quicker and not having so much of a blurring issue. This will also have that, which is very cool. Obviously, it's running Android. It's Android KitKat 4.4.2. It will be available in, like I said, in Europe, and then CIS, which stands for the Commonwealth of Independent States, and that should be rolling out on the 18th, which is, well, I guess tomorrow. So yeah, if you are in the international countries, outside the United States at least for that matter, South Korea as well too, and you want to get the G3 but not so big, this might be your winner. So that's pretty cool. I don't have any kind of price. It's obviously price dependent on which country that you're looking at. So go to your local carrier, see if they're going to carry it. Again, it's called the LG Beat, or the full name is the LG G3 Beat, but I'm sure you can just get away with it by calling it the LG Beat. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Good job, LG, and hopefully they can kind of wiggle their way back into the mid-range market, because in my opinion, they're doing really well in the higher end market, but the mid-range market, they're kind of just putting phones together slapdash, not really putting a lot of thought into it, and it's just the makeup and the design of it just doesn't look too appealing. But obviously with the G3, it's beautiful, and then having it as a mid-range device, minus the quality of the screen not being as 1080p as some of the other higher end phones or even the mid-range phones that are out there, you'll make do. Also, the last thing before we get into the whole Microsoft thing is that if you are a Facebook user, you might have seen this on your feed. Facebook is currently testing a feature wherein that you can actually buy certain products from independent sellers online through the feed itself. So this is not unlike what you've seen with Twitter. Twitter is doing something with the Fancy. They're also paired up with the guys over at Amazon. Wow, that's crazy. Look at that. That's not what I meant to do whatsoever. Is that it? Yeah, there you go. So now they're testing this, where you have a suggested post, and this is a company called, where they have a product called Modified Watches, and if you were to say, oh yeah, that watch is what I want to wear, and I want to save $10, so there you go. You can click on the buy option, and thus you would enter in your information of purchase using your credit card, your bank information, and I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, like I said, this is available on Twitter, and it's just another way for advertisers to really kind of reel in those impulse buyers. If they see a really good deal on Coca-Cola, you get 84 cans of Coke mailed to you, free shipping for $20. I think that's a good deal. I mean, I don't really drink Coke by the can being mailed to me, but I mean, those are the kind of things that they want to really have someone just see it like, oh, I want to buy that. The question is also, like, Facebook is not really good when it comes to security. And so, like, how secure is this payment? Are they going to be using some sort of alternative payment method? Are you going to be able to pay with Amazon? Are you going to be able to pay with PayPal, Google Wallet, the new checkout app from Visa? So, like, what kind of methodology is going to be implemented into that? So we'll definitely find out a little bit more. But little bits and pieces are kind of coming out of the woodworks regarding this. So it'd be interesting to see how many people actually use it, because I do see the ads, I do see the suggested posts, and it's like, oh, well, that's cool. That sometimes it's even something that I would buy, but I don't. And I don't know if it's because I don't see a buy it now button, or if it's just because I know with my financial situation, I don't necessarily need to be spending money on shaving cream that is as smooth as butter. I don't know, so. But yeah, just be aware that this probably will be launching soon on the desktop as well as mobile, because little by little we're definitely seeing a lot more advertisements in your mobile feed, whereas maybe a year ago you didn't, which was kind of nice. But hey, Facebook's got to get paid, right? It's a free service. You got to kind of take it for what it is. Let's go ahead and check out the Q&A, and then we'll take a word from our sponsor. As it stands right now, we don't have any questions, but we are going to be talking about the whole layoffs for Microsoft. So if you have any questions regarding that, for any comments, put them in the Q&A here. I'll go ahead and read them live here on the Hangout, and let's see what other people have to say about what you think. But let's go ahead and quickly thank our first sponsor, Audible.com. So for you viewers of Tony's Tech Talk or T3, you guys are in for a real treat. You can go to audibletrial.com/lazy and download an audiobook for free and get 30 days of a free trial, and where that you can also get discounts off of different audiobooks. So audible.com is the #1 seller for audiobooks. Instead of you having to go to the store and get the cassette audiobooks or the CD audiobooks, this is the place to go. It is owned by Amazon, and what's really cool about it is that with WhisperSync, you can start your audible.com audiobook on your phone and then continue listening to it on your tablet. And then some books even allow you to continue reading it through the actual Kindle app. So they have a lot of kind of synergy, if you will, continuity between all the different platforms that they have. Audible.com is available on Android, iOS, and Windows Phone. And like I said, if you go to audibletrial.com/lazy, you have over 150,000 books to choose from different genres ranging in history, historical fiction, science fiction, radio shows, the daily newspaper being read, like New York Times and things like that, the Wall Street Journal. And definitely, if you go to this, it will show that you are supporting the Lazy Tech Guy Network, the LTG Network, and specifically the show right here, Tony's Tech Talk T3. So thank you very much to Audible.com for being a sponsor, and thank you for watching. All right. Let's go ahead and, I just got a new bumper asset. Cool. Let's go ahead and talk about the thing that we don't want to talk about. Voldemort. No, it's not that. It's really not all that bad. So basically today, Microsoft, or Satya Nadella said, okay, yeah, y'all were all right. You were 100% correct. We're going to be doing layoffs. And we are laying off over the course of the next 12 months around 18,000 employees. That's about 14% of the Microsoft workforce. Now, that seems like a lot as a huge number, but realize Microsoft employs a ton of people, a huge amount of people. And there are a lot of redundancies, unfortunately, in the upper management, middle management. I mean, people left and right pretty much doing the exact same job, especially since the acquisition of Nokia. It's like, well, if you're here, what am I doing here? So are we supposed to work together on this project, or how's this supposed to work out? So we don't have exactly how many are being pulled from Nokia, how many exactly are being pulled from another department, but what we do know, we have some numbers. Apparently, Microsoft said that it will slash 12,500 professional and factory positions, quote unquote, through the synergies and strategic alignment. Um, yeah, they're getting fired. That sucks, and hopefully they can find other jobs within the structure. But if not, I'm real sorry about that. Hopefully there's some sort of real good severance package for you guys. Again, this is like you're not being fired now. You're not being laid off now. You have some time. Also, what was announced was that Microsoft is going to shutter essentially the whole Xbox Entertainment Studios. Now you might say, wait a minute. Last week, Satya Nadella said Xbox is a key fundamental part of what we want to do with Microsoft, with Windows. In fact, what he said was, we are fortunate to have Xbox in our family to go after this opportunity with unique and bold innovation. Microsoft will continue to vigorously innovate and delight gamers with Xbox. Gamers, not entertainment studios. So the entertainment studios is a little bit separate. They are the studios that are essentially doing all the Xbox originals, like the Halo original TV shows. That documentary on Atari, that was being funded through this whole Xbox Originals, which was headed up by ex-president of CBS. What is her name? Nancy Tellem. She actually was the entertainment president of CBS, and now she headed up the Xbox division for Xbox Entertainment Studios, and well, apparently now nothing. However, all the existing shows that are currently in production, according to Phil Spencer on a separate quote that he sent out, are going to continue. He said Xbox will continue to support and deliver interactive sports content like NFL on Xbox, and we will continue to enhance our entertainment offerings on consoles by innovating the TV experience through monthly console updates. Additionally, our app partnership with world-class content providers bring entertainment, sports, and TV content to Xbox customers around the world and are not impacted by this organizational change. So if you were excited for Signal to Noise, which again was that Atari documentary, Halo Nightfall, and the Halo TV shows, they will continue as planned. However, it's probably just one series, one season. So kind of makes me think of Firefly. If you know the whole Firefly conundrum where Fox said, yeah, sure, we'll do it. No, we're not doing it. Yeah, we'll do it. No, we're not doing it. It's like, wait a minute, hold on. So, yeah, it's kind of like that, which sucks. And so I thought, because again, Microsoft is a client of mine. I work as a trainer for Microsoft through a third party. I thought, oh, I'm probably not going to be afflicted or affected by this whatsoever. That's wrong. According to GeekWire, Microsoft will also be hitting their quote-unquote shadow workforce, and I don't know if this means that they're going to continue, that they're going to kill off the whole kind of third-party workforce, which includes us trainers, which includes other vendors that go out there on behalf of Microsoft. But this is a complete turnaround from what it was maybe a year ago. And again, I didn't think that this would affect me, but apparently it does. So I don't know if to look for a new job or not. But whatever the case may be, this is very aggressive. Wall Street loves that. Wall Street loves to see the fat being cut. Like Wall Street, if you looked at the stock of Microsoft, it jumped. It's like, great, this is exactly what we want to hear. And particular employees were like, this is not what we wanted to hear whatsoever. And it's a shame, but it's business. And for all of you out there that don't understand why Microsoft has to make these changes, it's because they're spending way too much money and resources employing people that don't need to be employed. It's not that they're not qualified. I'm sure they're very qualified. Crap, I'm hella qualified. And I said, hella, yeah, I'm very, very qualified at what I do. But if Microsoft feels that our particular positions aren't being met with any kind of merits, or they're not, or they're being redundant because there's another company that does there's another company that's doing the exact same thing for Microsoft, or whatever the case may be. There's no point in paying two people for the same job. There just really isn't. So like I said, for the next 12 months. As it stands right now, I don't know how the contract is with the company that I work with. I believe it just got re-signed. If not, I probably would have heard about it. But yeah, that usually it's an annual thing, so it might have only got re-signed for one more year. Nevertheless, the other changes that are going to come to Microsoft in the form of strategic enterprising changes, we're not going to see as consumers, obviously, but hopefully what we will see is some of the new blood, some of the good blood, really take hold and being creative in creating a really great Microsoft One experience throughout all the different platforms: Windows RT, Windows Phone, Windows x86, embedded, Xbox. So I'm very, very excited for that. But that we probably won't see anything coming out of that for maybe another year or so. So, yeah. So again, if you were afflicted by this, I'm sorry. I don't think anybody got their pink slip today. This is kind of rolling out. It's like a rolling blackout, and it's like it's bound to happen to one of you out there, maybe even me. So just be prepared. And again, I'm sure there's a really nice severance involved, but I would just get your resume all dolled up just to be safe, on the safe side. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the Q&A. Any more questions? No, not as of yet. Okay, so that's great. That's pretty much it for tonight. There's no show tomorrow night. Obviously, it's Friday, so you guys have fun Friday. And if you have any questions or comments, you can definitely give me a call at 707-722-5299. Also, if you want to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, all you got to do is look for Lazy Tech Guys. The only thing that's different is our YouTube channel, Lazy Tech TV. So go to Lazy Tech TV, subscribe, tell your friends, make you feel sexier. And thank you very much to audible.com. Go to audibletrial.com/lazy to get your free trial and free book and free month. You guys are great. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.